Just Stop Oil protesters have blocked an ambulance responding to a life-and-death emergency, bringing rush-hour chaos to central London. 60 activists shut Waterloo Bridge in both directions this morning, forcing the desperate paramedic to resort to pleading with police to let him through. The Met took to Twitter to level blame at the eco-zealots, insisting that officers were ordering them to move out of the road to allow the ambulance to pass. But the eco-mob refused to take responsibility for delaying the emergency vehicle, instead claiming that police were trying to frame them. Just Stop Oil hardliners have been out in force this week, with activists smashing a painting in the National Gallery and descending upon the Cenotaph in Whitehall. I am sick and tired. Penny, I agree with you. And I agree with that noise.
Sorry, I do apologise for that noise, but it's just that their excuse was just ridiculous.
Well, absolutely. And I don't know whether you saw the footage of this, but the ambulance was desperate to get across.
Yes.
This was a life-threatening emergency, trying to pick up a specialist team from one hospital, taking them to another hospital. And these lunatics think it's OK to lie in the middle of the road. And also, what exactly is the police doing here? This, to me, speaks of police who really don't have the right experience. Also, I'd like to point out the street furniture, and thanks to Sadiq Khan for making that almost impassable.
Yeah.
If you see that great big concrete thing down the middle of the road, the ambulance cannot get out of the way because you are essentially shepherding it into this rat route, I suppose. But again, it just sort of reinforces bad behaviour, as far as I can see.
At this point, they're a public threat. Like, they're actually threatening people's lives. When you're driving a car and there's an ambulance behind you, you have to move to the side to let the ambulance through. The rest of us have to be law-abiding citizens, sane people, not act like middle-class brats with a few screws loose. But for some reason, they can behave in this way, and it's fine. And it's fine. It's fine. They get away with it. And we're now seeing a two-tier system where actually being mentally unwell has basically been greenlit by the police.
I've just got a solution. Sorry, I was just sitting here.
Come on, then.
What? Tell us. Sorry. Well, there's two things here. So one is this unit was responsible for a temporary life support system for people whose lungs have stopped working properly. Right. So if I was a relative of that person, who they were on their way to, get the names of every single one of these demonstrators, sue them.
That'd be nice.
Yes, sue them. There we go.
And also, as well as them being a threat to public safety, like Esther said, they're also a threat to the ideas of people being, open to talking about sustainability and environmentalism, because they are ruining it, because these are very serious issues and they are steadily losing public support, and people are turned off from the ideas of environmentalism. They're fed up.
But we've enshrined net zero by 2050. Also, yesterday, of course, in the King's speech.
But it's not just about net zero. There's so much more to the whole issue than just net zero.
But your point is right, which is that every time we see a demonstration, we think, not again. Eye roll, we are not on your side anymore. Actually,
and we turn the temperature up.
And we turn the temperature up, but also they're doing themselves a disservice.
Yeah, the police have said that Londoners are bearing the brunt of this, because they're taking officers from all over London and having to go here. So shoplifters are getting away.
Yeah.
Domestic violence cases, they can't go for 13 hours. Burglaries, people, no one turns up. So the police aren't going there to protect us. They're going there to protect Just Stop Oil. I suggest the police stop going out to these demonstrations and leave it to the public.
Yeah.
Let the public decide.
Exactly.
Do you recall when the BB Stockholm was being... people going back on the yacht again? On the yacht. On the boat. On the yacht.
Floating detention centre, yes.
And again, Just Stop Oil turned up and tried to block the coach bringing back the asylum seekers, and the coach driver carried on driving. And they scattered. He drove through them. He drove through them. This is what we need to see more of on the streets, and less police protecting these.
Except that the problem is, if you leave it to the public, and then we know that in the past, when things have happened, for example, somebody trying to stop shoplifters, for example, the shoplifter gets away with it, the person who stopped them gets done. So that is the problem with it.
Well, I agree with JJ. Leave it to the public.